Every Sunday night, our Uniquely Utah segment introduces us to the one-of-a-kind places and people right here in our own backyard.
They're fun to watch, and for one class in St. George, the 7th graders at Sunrise Ridge Intermediate School, they're also homework. Fox 13's Todd Tanner explains in this week's story.
Did you do a Uniquely Utah?
I did.
And what was yours?
Mine was, it was like a market in Perry, Utah, and it was like where they sold all these different fruits.
Kids at Sunrise Ridge Intermediate School are studying Uniquely Utah.
We had to make a poster about the place that we did, and we had to write information.
7th graders like Adia and Carson watch segments for a peek at how history and geography affect culture and economy. And they're not the only ones.
What's the most exciting Uniquely Utah that you have done?
I was invited to their school to answer some of their questions. Let's go redshirt. One of them being, why haven't I done any stories in their corner of the state?
So the kids at Sunrise Ridge did their homework, and now I have a little homework to do. I've got to do a story in St. George.
And these young kids wanted me to check out some old store they call Judd's.
It brings generations together. Like, it was my grandparents' favorite store when they were little.
When I walked in there the first time, I was just like, whoa, what's happening?
Any soda you want, basically. And it's in like glass, the old glass containers.
It's like Candyland. All I can see is candy and flavors and colors.
And it turns out St. George's most colorful store,
it's a party in your mouth, honey,
is run by St. George's most colorful personality. Tiffany Taylor bought it from the Judd family a few years ago, seeking a new adventure after being rejected by a reality TV show.
What do you do if you're a reject on Biggest Loser? Yeah, run a candy store. Right back at him. Revenge.
And she loves tending to tradition.
It has been open 103 years. It's the oldest business in St. George. We try to keep all the old-time candy and soda and the treats. So really, when they walk in, they kind of stop for a minute and think, oh yes, this is exactly how I remember it. They get drunk on soda. I know, Utah loves their soda. You can't mess with that. With the Razzles, first it's a candy and then it's a gum. Necco wafers. My grandma would make me eat my oatmeal, and I hate eating my oatmeal, and she'd put a little Necco wafer in the bottom of the bowl, so I'd eat it so I can get that candy at the bottom.
Aside from sugars and sweets, she makes room for history in the tiny 20 by 30 foot store.
I actually love that we have the shoes on display.
Salvaged from storage, samples of what customers could once order at Judd's. The store's original ledgers are here too.
We can look up the old pioneer names of the original families that settled in St. George, and it's really interesting because you could see what they purchased or traded for.
Tiffany says most days she doesn't feel like the owner, but instead the caretaker of a very special place where she feels right at home. And so does everyone else.
Our customers are like family.
In St. George, Todd Tanner, Fox 13 News, Utah.